We have an NHL trade to discuss this evening between the Boston Bruins and the Minnesota Wild. Charlie Coyle is on his way to Boston. We'll discuss all the details coming up next. Hey everyone, and welcome back to another video here at Top Shelf Hockey. If you're new to the channel, thanks for stopping by. We review and discuss all 31 NHL teams, so if you're a huge hockey fan, consider subscribing and clicking the bell so you don't miss anything. Obviously, we're not too far off from the NHL trade deadline coming up this coming Monday, February the 25th. Teams are starting to get more active here, and we saw another trade go down today, this time between the Boston Bruins and the Minnesota Wild. Of course, teams heading in very different directions here. The Minnesota Wild have sent veteran forward Charlie Coyle over to the Boston Bruins in exchange for younger forward Ryan Donato and a 5th-round draft choice. Now, Charlie Coyle's 26, soon to be 27 years old. Kind of had a not so favorable last couple of seasons. His name's been mentioned in trade rumors for really quite a long time, really the last year or two, off and on here. It's been rumored for some time that the Bruins have been scouting the Minnesota Wild quite a bit and back and forth here, so we kind of expected a trade. So we did get the information earlier from TSN's Bob McKenzie indicating that Charlie Coyle was on the move, and my first thought was it finally must be happening, sending him over to Boston. Of course, Coyle is a Massachusetts native, as is the player going the other way in Ryan Donato. It's a little bit surprising in a way that the Bruins are giving up on Donato so early. He's only 22 years old. Of course, his family has a long history with the Bruins organization. His father, Ted Donato, played for the Bruins for quite a while. And of course, Ryan was born and raised in the Boston area, went to Harvard University for a couple seasons, came into the NHL last year, signed his pro contract, got into 12 games near the end of the year, and he came in really hot. He put up 9 points in his first 12 games, was scoring goals quite a bit there in the first little bit. Things were looking like they were getting off to a tremendous start for Donato. Of course, he didn't end up playing a lot in the playoffs last year, and this year things did not really pick up where he left off after getting off to a hot start last season. This year, he's played in 34 additional games, and he has the same number of points as last year. He's been stuck at 9, obviously played some time in the American Hockey League, which is where he currently was at the time of this trade. He signed a 2-year entry-level contract upon getting into his pro year with the Bruins last year. So he is a pending restricted free agent. So I guess for the Minnesota Wild, this kind of reduces their salary cap obligations here a little bit. The Wild are a team that's tight up against the cap. There's been a lot of trade rumors around the Wild here as of late that even though they're kind of in a playoff hunt, that they have consent from ownership to do what's necessary to make this team much more competitive for the future. So even though they kind of remain in that playoff hunt, a deal like this does not surprise me, and we very well might see additional other ones as well. There's going to be another video here posted in the next little bit this evening discussing some other NHL trade rumors. There's plenty of other Wild players that are going to be discussed in that video as potential trade bait as well. Originally, when that video was first lined up for today, I did plan to talk about Charlie Coyle and his potential connection here to the Bruins, but I guess they've actually made that happen, so yet another trade rumor here to actually come to be. Coyle's having a decent season this year with 28 points in 59 games. More than likely he plays that third-line center role, but he could also fill, potential wing spot on the second line as well. Hard to say exactly where they're going to slot him. It's been rumored for some time that the Bruins were kind of looking for a player who was a little bit versatile, who could play center and wing, and Coyle can certainly do that. So I'm not sure exactly where he's going to slot in the lineup. Time will tell here once he has a chance to practice with the Bruins, and we'll see where they feel he fits in best. Considering the amount of players that are on the trade market, though, I can't help but wonder if the Bruins might have been able to do a little bit better. But as I mentioned in some of the other trade rumor videos, is the asking price probably was a little bit too high. But hopefully this works out for them. They're giving up on a young player who did have a lot of potential. We'll see if he can get his game back together here in Minnesota. And so hopefully Charlie Coyle works out for the Boston Bruins. So as always, I want to hear your thoughts and your comments down below in the comment section. We can continue discussing this trade here at length, but I'd love to hear what you think of this trade, especially for Boston's side, picking up Charlie Coyle here in exchange for Ryan Donato. If you're new to the channel, I hope you consider subscribing. We cover all 31 NHL teams, and there's plenty of content here for all hockey fans to enjoy. So if you're new, hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up before you go. I'd appreciate it if you did. As always, thank you very much for watching, everybody. We will catch you next time.